Scientists just found something moving near 3I/ATLS, and what's unsettling isn't what it is, it's how precisely it's keeping up. This discovery didn't come from a dramatic image or a sudden flash in the sky. It came from numbers, quiet, stubborn numbers that refuse to behave. For months, astronomers believed 3I/ATLS was a single interstellar object passing silently through our solar system. Strange, yes, anomalous, definitely, but still alone. A lone visitor following a strange but ultimately solitary path. That assumption just collapsed because new observations show something else moving nearby, not trailing behind, not drifting away, but staying close in a way space does not allow by accident. And the timing of this discovery makes it even harder to ignore. This wasn't noticed immediately. It didn't appear as a second bright object or an obvious fragment. Instead, it revealed itself as a subtle anomaly in the tracking data. When scientists tried to refine Atlas's trajectory after its unexplained course changes, the calculations refused to settle. The object could no longer be modeled as a single moving point. Something else was interfering. At first, astronomers assumed it was noise. Tracking faint interstellar objects is difficult. Small errors happen, instruments drift, data improves, and problems disappear. Except this one didn't. As more observations were added, the anomaly stayed locked in place relative to Atlas. Same distance, same direction, same timing. That's when the concern began. In space, objects separate, debris spreads out, dust clouds disperse. Even gravitational companions create measurable wobble. But whatever is near 3I/ATLS does none of that. It doesn't drift. It doesn't lag. It doesn't spiral away. It moves as if it already knows where Atlas is going. And that should not be happening. Interstellar objects don't travel in pairs. They're ejected violently from distant star systems, flung into deep space alone. By the time they reach another solar system, any loosely bound material is long gone. The odds of two unrelated objects arriving together and remaining this close are effectively zero. Yet here we are. The first explanation scientists explored was fragmentation. Perhaps Atlas shed a piece of itself. Comets do this all the time. But fragments behave predictably. They spread, their brightness changes, radiation pressure pushes them off course. None of those signatures appear here. The secondary motion remains compact, faint, and disturbingly stable. Next came background contamination, a distant star, a galaxy, something coincidentally aligned behind Atlas. But background objects don't move with foreground objects, and they don't maintain the same relative position across multiple observation windows using different telescopes. That theory was ruled out quickly. And then came confirmation. Independent observatories, different instruments, different data pipelines, different reference frames, all reported the same result. A subtle companion signal, always near Atlas, always where it shouldn't be. At that point, astronomers stopped asking what it was and started asking how it could exist at all. One possibility is that the object near Atlas is extremely dense and compact, dense enough to resist radiation pressure, yet small enough to remain faint. Not gas, not dust, not a typical fragment. That alone would make it unprecedented. Another idea is more disturbing. What if the something isn't an object at all? What if it's a region of altered space, a subtle distortion moving with Atlas, bending light just enough to shift positional measurements? Physics allows space-time distortions, but only near extreme masses, black holes, neutron stars. Atlas is not massive enough for that. At least it shouldn't be. Then there's coordination. In spaceflight, formation flying requires constant micro-adjustments, tiny corrections that keep multiple objects aligned over enormous distances. It's precise, efficient, and almost impossible to detect from afar. Natural objects do not do this. They can't. Yet the relative motion near 3I/ATLS is too stable to be coincidence. Over millions of kilometers, the separation barely changes. That implies either active control or a shared mechanism we do not understand. And this is where comparisons to Oumuamua return, but with a crucial difference. Oumuamua accelerated without visible propulsion. 3I/ATLS is doing something stranger. It's not just moving oddly, it's interacting with its surroundings in a structured way. Acceleration breaks models, coordination breaks assumptions. Some scientists suggested magnetic interactions, but no asteroid-scale object produces fields strong enough for this, and no emissions have been detected. Others pointed to dark matter, but dark matter effects are diffuse. They don't produce tight, persistent relative motion like this. Once again, the math refuses to cooperate. What makes this discovery especially alarming is timing. The secondary motion becomes most noticeable immediately after Atlas's unexplained trajectory shifts, as if whatever caused the course correction also affected the surrounding region. That correlation is hard to ignore, and it leads to a question scientists are careful not to ask publicly. Is E3I/ATLS interacting with something, or is it part of something larger? Because if this object arrived with a companion or generates one dynamically, then it isn't a simple relic from another star system. It's a system. And systems imply structure, history, internal rules. Right now, official statements remain cautious. Words like artifact, feature, and signal under review dominate public summaries. But privately, researchers are running simulations that would have been dismissed a decade ago. Non-gravitational coupling, exotic matter distributions, even engineered motion patterns. Not because they believe them, but because nothing else fits cleanly. No one is claiming intelligence. That line hasn't been crossed. But the boundary between natural and unexplained is shrinking fast. Every time Atlas is observed, the secondary motion appears again, consistent, quiet, unwilling to disappear. Future observations will decide everything. If the secondary motion fades, it may be dismissed as a transient anomaly. But if it persists, especially if it responds to changes in Atlas's path, then coincidence is no longer an option. Because repetition is the one thing nature rarely produces by accident. For now, telescopes around the world are watching not just Atlas, but the space around it, tracking shifts, looking for correlation, waiting for the next correction. Because if something really is moving near 3I/ATLS, matching its path, adjusting with it, staying close without touching, then humanity may be witnessing the first example of an interstellar phenomenon that does not behave as an object at all. Not random, not chaotic, but coordinated. And that possibility changes everything we thought we knew about what travels between the stars.